Hello, fellow menstruators and those who help us in need. It is our monthly event again for My Period Data is Mine. And with you today are myself, Daniela, and Marcel. And I will be handing over to Marcel because he has a lot of good news on what has happened since last time.
Thank you, Daniela. Uh, Basically, we've made some good tangible progress. So last time we spoke about the encrypted database that we had been looking at, the SQL cipher, and how it can encrypt the database at the source. So the file that is stored on your phone is now encrypted. The database itself, if anybody has access, physical access to your phone, right? Even if they can root the phone, even if the FBI gets hold of it, the file that is stored on your phone, right, will be encrypted. So even if they can bypass the phone's encryption, if they can bypass anything else, the only way you can access that database is by using the same software, the SQL Cipher software, with your passcode. If you do not have your passcode, nobody can decrypt that database, or at least nobody that we know about can decrypt that database. So with current technology, it is an AES 256-bit cipher, which, as far as we know, is not decryptable. Maybe someday in the future with quantum computers and things like that, we may be able to decrypt it. But right now, with the technology we have available, that file is encrypted. And without your passcode, you cannot decrypt it. So we've taken that database and we've now made it part of the My Period Data is Mine app. And so we've created the first login screen. So when you open up the app for the first time, you will be prompted with a passcode request. So you'll be asked for what passcode would you like to use to encrypt your database. Once you've created this passcode, and this is prompted with numbers, but you can actually enter any passcode you want, any alphanumeric passcode. You can type in a complete phrase, a complete sentence if you want, or you can make it as complicated or as easy to remember as you want. Passcodes and creating good passcodes is a separate discussion, but you can enter your passcode, and then the database will be created with that passcode, and it will be encrypted with that passcode. And it can only, every time you then open the app again, it will prompt you for that passcode. If you cannot remember that passcode, there's no way for anybody to extract that data. We cannot unlock the database for you. The FBI cannot unlock the database for you. Nobody at My Period Data is Mine can unlock the database for you. It's only you that can decrypt it. So you have to be aware of that fact, that if you want to have access to data, you need to remember your passcode. And you will be prompted for that passcode every time you open up the app. So it's not like it's a one-off and then you forget about it. You'll be prompted for that passcode every time you open it. If you decide you want to change that passcode, we've also provided the facility for you to change the passcode. But you can only do that once you've decrypted the database using the existing passcode. So you can't change the passcode without knowing the current passcode. So if you want to make it more complex or make it simpler to remember or simpler to type in or whatever it is that you want, you can change the passcode, and the database itself will be, from its decrypted state, be re-encrypted and stored on the phone in encrypted state. To facilitate all of this, it also means that when you open the database, we cache the decrypted data in memory. So the only time the data is decrypted is in memory. So the phone will have when you're running the application, you type your passcode in, you can access your data. It will be decrypted, but it will be accessible in memory. So some people argue, but you've now got decrypted data. That is the case. The data will be decrypted because you're using the application. So only if somebody has access to your phone with you entering your passcode with the data decrypted, will you be able to get access to the data. And once it's in that state, you can then change the passcode, and then all the data will be then resaved back to your phone in the new encrypted format, so with the new passcode on your phone. So the database will be encrypted with the new passcode, and then you will only be able to decrypt that database with the new passcode. If you try to enter the old passcode, it won't work anymore. So if somebody does get access to your passcode, but they don't get access to your database, then you can change your passcode. And even somebody has the old passcode, they can't access the database. It's once again encrypted with your new passcode. So people talk about changing your passcode regularly as a security measure. I personally believe that as long as you have a good, strong password that you don't share with anyone, that is the best way to secure your application. So that's where we're at. We have the application now with the encrypted database on it, and with the ability for you to change the passcode on it. The backing up the database and deleting the data and things like that is all a separate issue that we can discuss at a separate time. But at the moment, it's we have a completely secure application with the data only stored on your phone in an encrypted format that only you can decrypt with your passcode.
Thank you very much, Marcel. That is a great update. And for everyone who is not into technology, because, let's be honest, I'm possibly not the only one. So what this means is that unless you tell somebody your password or passcode, nobody will have access to it. Nobody can get to it. Full stop. Now, what is the alternative? You can use one of the other period trackers that send your data into the cloud, and they may even have it encrypted between your phone and in storage. However, you don't know where storage is, and most probably somebody's listening in and they can decrypt it either at the end or somewhere else. Another alternative are period trackers that leave the data on your phone, but so far, none of those that I have seen are encrypted, which means that if somebody else gets your phone in their hands, they can get a copy of the file that contains your data, copy it to their phone, and they have access to it. The only other... Yes, please.
Sorry, just to interrupt you. It's very important to note that some applications will claim that their data is encrypted, but it is encrypted at the phone level. So the phone itself may have the data encrypted. So I know Android, for example, has the option for you to encrypt the database on your phone. So every time you power up the Android phone, you ask for a PIN number, and that will decrypt it. However, that bypassing that decryption, right, can be done. We saw that with the FBI in the attempted assassination that we had a few weeks ago, where they managed to get access to the person's phone within 2 days. It took them 2 days to get bypassed the phone's encryption on the phone. So yes, it's encrypted, but it is an encryption that the FBI can bypass. So there may be the data is encrypted on your phone, but it's only at the operating system level. So you're relying on Android security, and Apple security if you're using an Apple phone, to prevent that from happening. And at the moment, that's not preventing law enforcement from gaining access to your phone very quickly.
Thanks for making that point, and that is exactly the reason why we create this app right now, because there have already been cases where people were prosecuted based on period tracker data, based on other data that supposedly was private and encrypted. So it is worthwhile being vigilant and just getting the best tools you can. As I said, I'm not anywhere near as technical as Marcel is, but I do understand the risks involved in using technology without knowing what the risks are. So, where are we right now? I want to use the app, I want to install it, and by our next meeting in September, we should have the first version, a rudimentary version with a calendar and basic input features. That's the plan. So if you want to get on board and be an early user, do get in touch with us. We need as much feedback and input as possible. You will be able to use the app for free as an early user. You will also be able to use the app for free as a late user. And you will also be able to use the app whenever you like, whenever you're ready to download it onto your phone. It will be for free forever for everyone. Because, let's be honest, having a period is bad enough, at least in my opinion. And that's where we are right now. For all of you out there who are watching us right now and think, that's not a problem. I'm in a safe country. I'm in a democratic country and everyone's good to women and those who menstruate. Well, no, that's not the case. Not anymore. Yes, France has just put into law that women should be able to have access to abortions as one positive example, but so did Italy. The problem, though, is that in Italy, you will not be able to get an abortion like the law suggests, simply because people, meaning doctors, have objections and they simply won't perform the procedure. What next? Personally, I think having a child or putting a child into this world should be a big decision. It's not something that should just be done on a whim or, I had a drink too many. If that happens, good luck. Everybody needs any help they can get. That there are places out there that can give you advice for any stage out there. In the long run, we want to add information about those situations into the app as well. But ultimately, your period is directly linked to what is happening to your body, not only to abortions. It is also linked to falling pregnant if you want a child, but it's difficult. In my case, well, I'm one of those who suffers from endometriosis, and it's not fun. It just really, really isn't. And every time I move house and I'm talking to a new gynecologist, it's an uphill struggle to make them understand how horrific it is. And all I've found that helps is to give them the data and give them all my symptoms in detail how it is. And that is why my personal interest is to get this app out there, make it the safest and best performant app there is, and helping other people in the process. And when I say people, most people look at me and see a woman. Personally, I describe myself as a human being, first and foremost. I really don't care what's between your legs. I really don't care what your reason is to use the period tracker. Honestly, I don't care. You're using it. If you want to use it, use it. It will be there. If you have problems with it, write to us. We'll try and solve it. If you write to us and get in touch, tell us if you want to be treated anonymously, and will delete all of the information involved with the communication with us. As soon as everything is solved, we will only keep what we need to solve the problem or put the feature in that you would like to see. Privacy is super important to me and to Marcel as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't be working on this. But as I mentioned, we're living in hard times at the moment, and we will be going through some more hard times over the next few years. Be smart about what information you share, who you share it with, and where you put your information. If you want to be actively involved and helping other people out there, get in touch, help us, either developing the app a bit further, more with working with Marcel, otherwise getting the word out, working on the communication side, updating the website, things like those, then get in touch. If you don't want to be involved, you just want the app, tell us. As soon as we have a fully, easily downloadable version, you can download it. And whenever there is an update, it will be updated on your phone forever. You've got it. Once you've downloaded it, you will always have it. It will always be secure. We are a FOSS project, a free and open source software project. That means you can find the source code on GitHub. We do have the links open and available. So again, if you're on the technical side, have a look and check it out. Especially if you are a security or encryption expert or database expert or anything like that, do get in touch. We do need help. We're just checking over, and it always helps having somebody with good credentials to give it the rubber stamp. If you don't want to get involved, but you know somebody who would like to get involved, send them our way. And last but not least, If you want to see the app out sooner, and if you want to see more updates, please donate to our cause, because that means it frees up our time and we can focus on it more, getting it ready quicker. So go to our Patreon page and become a member, or if you think a one-off donation to start with, we do have a link to Stripe, and we appreciate your help that you provide, not really to us, but to everyone out there who will be able to download the app for free later on. Sorry, bit of a monologue there. What else? What I've been missing?
No, I think that's pretty much covers everything.
Good. Thank you. One last thing. If you want to join us here on this call, please do so. We're always open. We're always happy to see other faces as well. As I mentioned, we are looking for everyone to come and join us in whatever capacity they can and want to. We are really open, especially to welcome underrepresented groups. Whatever that is to you is up to you. If you think, I would like to see more people like myself, come and join us, come and talk to us.
Yeah. Also, if anyone's got any contacts with any well-represented groups, the Democratic National Convention's just started, and Hillary Clinton, for example, was speaking openly about the abortion that's going on, bans that are going on around the US, and everyone is saying, it's abortion is evil, and carrying babies to term is beautiful. And she replied saying, what is beautiful about someone being forced to carry their parents' child to term?
Yes.
That's the rape and incest side of things that is being pushed there. But she phrased it perfectly, and I think if anyone has got any contact in well-represented groups like the Democratic Party, that can they also please get in touch so that we can get the word out as to what we're doing to help as well.
Yes, as I mentioned, getting the word out is really important. So please help. Yes. We welcome it. And again, if you would like to be mentioned, if you want your name plastered all over the product, we are totally open to that. This is not a pride project. When I say pride, this is not a project, a vanity project to get our names out there. It's for the product to get out there. But if you want your name on it, talk to us. We're open to that. We will make that happen. But please do your best to get the word out there and make sure that we can help other people too.
Yeah, sponsorship. So if people want to sponsor the project, that's great as well.
Yes. Good. And on that happy note, I wish everyone a beautiful rest of the summer. We will speak in September. And do listen out to the politics in your country. Do get involved as much as you can, because it will have an impact on the rest of your life. And not only the rest of your life, but also the rest of your children's lives. So be mindful of all your decisions and be active if you can.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. So have a good evening and a good afternoon, and see you in September.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.